Hello, everybody. I wanted to come in here and do this part 3 to understanding healthy eating. And there's a lot of people out there today that are eating particular diets, and a lot of people out there that are either eating a vegan diet or a raw food diet, but they're not successful at it. And by saying successful, I mean they're not achieving the goals they want to achieve. They're still having the same problems. Some of them are developing new problems. And there's a struggle there. And there's a reason why people aren't eating a long-term diet that they begin with the goal of trying. And so I want to talk about today, because I have people that contact me that say they've eaten a certain way and they've experienced the weight loss or whatever their goal was. Some of them have even gotten over a disease, but they always go back to eating to the way that got them sick to begin with. Now, there are many other factors of health other than just the food we put in our bodies. However, if you want to get better, you got to eliminate the cause. But if you want to stay healthy, you got to stay away from what caused the problem to begin with. So I see many people out there that'll lose a lot of weight on a particular way of eating, and they feel great, but then they go back to the way they were eating that got them overweight to begin with. The same thing with cancer. I see people out there that were dying, literally got a cancer diagnosis or some other disease, diabetes or something else. They went on a particular lifestyle or a way of eating that was different than their norm. They got better. They got cured. Some people want to say remission, but I'm saying cured, no sign of this. And you would think that person would say, well, this is working for me. What I was doing wasn't working for me, but this is working for me. But then those people go back to the same things that got them sick to begin with. There's a scripture in the Bible that talks about a dog returning to his own vomit. And we got to think about this. If something is not good for you, your desire should be that we no longer have it in our lives. But here's the problem. Why we keep going back to the things that create the problem to begin with. Why we're so addicted to these things, and it's so hard for us to let go of these things. So we have to understand, you take a drug addict or an alcoholic, for example, every day it's a struggle for them and a battle for them not to go back to the things that were destroying their lives. Now, the longer they stay away from it, the more adjusted to it, to life they should be, and the more they should be able to resist that. But for some of those people, the longer they're away from it, the harder it becomes, because they miss it so much. And they haven't given their body something, not necessarily to replace what was so bad, but something to fulfill their lives. And they were using that. The reason they were using that drug or that alcohol or something was to heal an emptiness. They didn't want to feel pain, so they wanted to go numb. So they would try to please themselves with these narcotics or something, whether it's pills or alcohol, whatever. And now, when in their new life, as they've given that up, unless they can find some fulfillment in their life, or to find something to replace or create something that was missing that made them go there to begin with. Often it's some type of faith or some type of lifestyle or something that's going to help them be excited about life. And until they get that, they're gonna want to go back. So whether it's sorrow, regret, fear, or whatever's keeping a person in with those cravings for the poison. Well, detoxifying from drugs and alcohol on a physical level is a lot more severe than just detoxing from food and so on from a physical level. But that same mental idea is there of, as long as you've given up these things that are causing death to your body, whether it's smoking cigarettes or whether it's eating poor food choices, unless you find the fulfillment from that you're looking for. You haven't gotten rid of the reason why you're eating those junk foods to begin with. So there's the physical factors of the psychological effects of eating a diet we're brought up on. There's the emotional factors of the comfort and the memories that are attached around certain foods. And then there's the whole aspect of the mental aspect of it is, why were we running to these foods as drugs or whatever it is? Why were we running that to the first place? If we know certain things aren't good for us, I don't want people to use the excuse of convenience. Oh, it's just convenience to eat a certain way. McDonald's is more convenient than eating a salad. Well, now you can get salad at McDonald's. How convenient is that? But people are still choosing the junk food that they're serving there. And the makers of these foods are putting chemicals in these foods to make us crave more of these foods. Literally dumbing us down. This is the way they destroy us. We have to have an appreciation for life to get over these psychological issues that makes us keep running back to the addictions and the cravings and everything else. The way to be successful long-term on a raw vegan diet or any type of diet, it's have an appreciation for the things that you're experiencing now versus the things that you were experiencing before. So somebody once told me a long time ago, would you rather eat something that tastes wonderful for 15 minutes when you're eating it? It's absolutely the best, most wonderful tasting thing you've ever had. But the rest of the day, you're going to feel terrible. Or would you rather eat something for 15 minutes that's going to taste absolutely horrible, but for the rest of the day, you're going to feel great? Now, the reality of this is most people will choose those 15 minutes of pleasure and forgo feeling great the rest of the day. That's the choice many people are making. Then there are some people that will eat that unpleasant tasting food because they want to feel good during the day. But we have a third choice now. And the third choice is we can eat food that tastes absolutely amazing, more pleasurable than any other food we've ever had in our life. And we could feel great the rest of the day. And that is my goal. See, we have to understand that food has no longer become our nutritional health. Food today has become a pleasure trap for us. And people aren't eating for nutrition. People are eating for pleasure. And that's the number one thing that's going to make you fail at staying long-term raw vegan or whatever type of diet you're on, is when you're looking for food for pleasure and not for nutrition. That's what's going to create the issue. If you want to be successful long-term, you have to stop looking at food as just only pleasure, and that's all it is. We have to go beyond that and think, I also want to be healthy. So I don't just want good tasting food. I want good tasting food that's going to keep me healthy. And I want to understand what those foods are. And it should be clear to us what those foods are not. Those foods are what the most people are consuming out there today. So when I go to the supermarket, I'm looking for the foods that not only are going to give me great pleasure. This is why I have trouble eating even fruits and vegetables that do not have the ripeness and the cleanliness and the fulfillment of what I'm experiencing when I eat food from my own garden. I've lost the pleasure for food from the supermarket and most food from the supermarket because I just can't. I can't enjoy them as the same way. But I'm going beyond that, and I'm looking for the foods that are going to help me stay healthy and keep me healthy. And those are even more difficult to find in the supermarket because you just got food that's not organic, that's not picked fresh, and it's created a problem. And there's a difference out there between thriving and surviving. And why most of the world just wants to survive, I want to thrive. And we have that opportunity to do that. And I believe this is why the raw vegan diet is the best. And it's not, look, I get pleasure out of fruit. I love fruit, and we all do, because it's sugar, and it's replacing one addiction for of processed sugar for natural sugar, so we could still have that great sweet tasting fruit. But I also get pleasure out of eating kale and spinach and my greens, because I know the minerals that are charging my body and rejuvenating my cells, and I get pleasure out of fasting, because I know the resting is healing my body and my body's at work. I get pleasure out of exercising. Some people exercise and are like, oh, I got to go to the gym, but I love it. Yeah, I get pleasure out of it. We shouldn't do things that we don't enjoy, but we should enjoy the things we're doing that are good for us. So this is a really important part to understanding health, because most of the people that contact me, they're not confused about what to eat. Their problem is, how can I let go of my addictions of the foods I was eating? You know, and it's important to be able to do that, because health doesn't begin what we add to our body, it's what we eliminate. We must eliminate the things that have created the problem to begin with. Eliminate what's causing the problem if we want the problem to go away. So we need to get to a point where we could have joy in trying new things, but eliminating the things that we shouldn't be doing. Not with, oh, do I really got to give that up? But with a joy. It's like, why would I even want it in my body? Of course I want to give that up. And we just want to experience on every level, just eating as healthy as we possibly can. And there are so many people that suffer from the pleasure trap. And there's ways out of it. There is ways out of it. And this is why I'm doing these videos, is to help people understand on every level the joy that should come in the you know, but also the complete joy, because there's no joy in being sick. So when we understand healthy eating, we have to understand health, and we have to understand disease. And, you know, I eat healthy because I don't like pain. I don't like disease, and I don't like not being able to do everything. I have joy in every day waking up and feeling great. I have joy in all this, and the food I eat is fueling much of that. You know, I don't eat junk food, not because I don't like the taste of it, because I don't want to feel sick. I don't want to not be able to live every part of my life to the fullest of the fullest. And you know, but there are just some people that they give up. There's just so much choice, so they do the popular thing, and the popular thing is not always right, and the right thing is not always popular. And you know, they don't want to do the work. They don't want to put the work into it. First of all, if you're too lazy to work, something's wrong with your diet and your attitude. We were created to be excited about the things we're doing, and also, you know, to eat healthy. If you're too tired to make a salad, something is wrong. You're missing some nutrient or something. You shouldn't be that tired. Take a blood test and take some supplements. But here I am sprouting food. I'm growing food. I didn't always do that, because yes, I didn't always have a yard. I didn't always have the knowledge, but you get that, you attain that, and you do that. You know, composting and growing certain foods and everything else. And many people are missing these nutrients because they you know, or the passion to do this because they're too tired or weak, or they don't understand, or they're confused. None to be confused about. Raw, ripe, fresh, organic fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds. There's so many websites out there now with amazing recipes. And so many things that we could do to just help us eat healthy. Yeah, no, if you're eating the right food, you don't have to worry about the things that people talk about. You know, somebody's asking about sprouts and lectins. No, the sprouted foods are the best food you could eat. The sprouted legumes and the nuts and the seeds, they're excellent. And we got to get away from many of the addicting things like the grains. Grains are the most addicting food. The addicting substance on the planet, I would say, is grains. Grains and sugar. You got more people addicted to grains and sugar than you do crack and cocaine. So we need to get away from these things and hopefully, you know, Raw Life Health Show here, we have all these videos. Hopefully that'll help you to do that. But you know, I want to help you to help yourselves, not just to do it for a certain amount of time, but to be able to always do it and to always eat a certain way. I've been on a raw vegan diet for a long time and I have no desire. I don't miss cooked food. I don't miss certain foods. I've went back and experimented over the years and only got sick and discouraged, but now I'm back and I'm feeling better than ever. Better than ever. You know, and, so the question is do I need to eat 100% raw vegan to be healthy? You know, the body's amazing. People think it's amazing that somebody could switch to eating a healthier diet and get better from cancer. I think it's amazing that people eat the terrible food they eat and not get cancer. But when you eat the best and you live the best, why would you want to go backwards, right? Because we got to get over those psychological addictions of these substances that we want to put in our bodies and so on. So I want to encourage you all. And I'm going to be doing another part and giving you some principles about the food we should be eating. And you know, I speak all the time about how much or how little we should be eating and so on. And I pray that these will bless you and you take some blood tests and get the right work. But you should be excited to do this, not too tired and not too weak. I'm here to take your questions. I'm here to help you and thank you for watching. Have a great day, everybody, and a great raw life.